Welcome to Survival Equipment Unlimited. Today we are going to make a tarp shelter. The first thing you need to do when designing a tarp shelter is to make sure you understand which direction the wind is coming from. You want to make sure that the fold in your tarp shelter is against the wind. The next thing you want to do is make sure that you've cleared the ground. We've got a little bit of snow out here right now, but this looks like a reasonable spot. We want to make sure that if we're going to be sleeping in this area, that we're going to be relatively comfortable on the ground. So you want to make sure that any sticks or stones that are down on the ground have been removed. Another thing to look for are anthills. Make sure you're not building your tarp shelter on top of an anthill. So first clear the ground, and then make sure that the site looks like a reasonable spot. Okay, I've tied off the tarp to two trees, and notice that we've got basically created a ground sheet in this tarp so that the snow or any rain or wet is actually going to stay off your body, because one of the most important things when you are in a survival situation is to make sure that you stay dry. So this tarp you're able to get in, and you can always build up a little bit of debris underneath to make sure that you have the insulation that you need to stay warm at night. But this at least gives you shelter from the elements or rain above. The front of the tarp is actually staked out with a couple of sticks, and this will provide you with at least some shelter. Now you could build a fire, but you want to make sure that the fire is far enough away from your tarp, because fire and tarp do not mix. Tarps will ignite fairly easily. The other thing that you might want to do is to actually put a space blanket behind you so that any heat from the fire actually will get reflected by the space blanket and go behind you and keep